live. Welcome everyone to Mastermind call number 6. So this is a group where we are going to discuss our business challenges. The room is locked now, so if somebody is watching it, please leave a comment. If you are watching the replay, then put hashtag replay and leave a comment. So right now I am with two wonderful ladies, Umme and Sunita. We are going to discuss a few challenges we face in day-to-day business as women entrepreneurs and coaches. So first, our usual thing, we are going to introduce ourselves. First, who would like to start with?
Ume.
So I am Umme Salma. I am a Mumbai-based artist. I do paintings. Creativity is my passion and profession also.
Excellent. Yes. Sunita.
Hi everyone, I'm Sunita Prakash Narwani and I'm a personal fashion stylist. I love to make women look more beautiful because I truly believe they are beautiful, unique and amazing. But the saddest part is that they don't realize how beautiful they are. So sometimes, a nudge is important. So that nudges me. That's why.
Hi,
Back
Manu.
to you, Kavita.
Yeah. Hi, Manu. You can leave your comments or questions here. I'm sorry, the room gets locked once the broadcast live starts, so you can enjoy us speaking live or leave your comments. Hi, everybody. I am Kavita, the coach. I help women coaches and entrepreneurs find clarity in their business so that they can design the perfect next 5 steps in their business to reach the next level in their business. So that was our intro part. Thank you, everyone. Let's go jump on to the next part. We started a little bit late today because of the technical glitches. So the next round goes is our weekly accountability. So would you like to share your weekly accountability for this week?
Yes, I would like to go first.
Yeah.
This week accountability is I would like to make more calls and I would like to interact with more number of women and make a maybe plan a webinar by Saturday or Sunday. So whichever day is comfortable, depending upon the ladies, I will definitely do one today this week.
Great. So can you be more specific, Sunita? Because we are going to be models for other women with accountability. So
Okay.
accountability is SMART goals, where we are specific and we have measurable goals, right? Achievable, realistic, and tangible goals. So can you be more specific? How many number of calls or one webinar like that? Can you be more specific, measurable goals?
One webinar by weekend,
Yes.
maybe a Saturday or Sunday, and 3 calls to 3 different women to introduce myself. And let me see if they take it good. If they don't take it, it's fine.
A strategy call or a clarity call, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Great, great going. Ume, would you like to share your weekly accountability?
I'm like kind of probably need a restructuring about my time management so I can utilize my week better. So one thing I need to do is make the most of the calls to the architects and interior designers and introduce myself. So I don't have a number regarding that, but that is one thing I need to do this week.
Can you have a simple committed, very simple number to have a committed goal? 2 or 3, whatever you are comfortable with.
I think the first one is the most difficult. Once I'm done with that, the another 9 will easily come on. So just come like 5 calls this week.
5 calls. Excellent. Great. So yes, as Kavita, the weekly accountability, I would like to make myself accountable for one specific goal. That is, I want to work on my niche in a more clarity way. That is what, all these days I wanted to work with entrepreneurs and coaches. Now I am afraid, but still I want to take up only with women coaches because I feel the strategies what I work with gives awesome results with women coaches because I worked with a few and it is giving them good results. So I am trying to niche my niche more narrower with women coaches only. So I'm working on my copywriting. So hopefully by next week my copywriting will be over. So this was our weekly accountability. Now let's jump on to our question answer session. So this week's theme, what I thought is like as women coaches and entrepreneurs, we all have 15 to-do list things and we are confused what to do We need a guilt-free motherhood. We want a guilt-free friendship. We want to be a guilt-free daughter. If we are in a relationship, we want to have a balanced life everywhere. So if you have any specific questions, please feel free to ask, or we can speak about time management. Sunita, Ume, do you have any specific questions regarding your business challenges?
Yeah, guilt-free, like motherhood probably is on the top of the list for me.
Okay.
Time management for me.
Yes. So let me tell something about myself. I am working from the last 21 years. At the age of 17, the max to do, I'm 38 now. Yes, from the age of 17, I'm working. I worked in Indian Railways for 10 plus years, and I'm working in State Bank of India, a banking sector, from 11 years. So with this 21 years of my working journey, I completed my BCom, then I completed my MBA from Indira Gandhi University, one of the toughest correspondence courses or distance education. Then I had gone through a divorce. Now I am in a relationship. Now I am managing 3 sons. So my life had been hell a lot of ups and downs in my personal life and in emotional life. With that, I can proudly say that I worked as a freelancer, I worked as a blogger, and I was named in 2016 top 10 bloggers in momexpresso.com. I authored a parenting book which is available in Amazon. It's a self-published book. And from there, from 2020, I got my first paying clients as a coach. So I feel that I can help women coaches or women entrepreneurs managing their time, because the last 21 years, this is what I have been doing all my life. So with the credibility part done, let us speak about how we are going to manage time. So before that, I want to tell you a funny thing I can say. One of my students yesterday, she called me and she told me the assignment I gave her was she has to contact 5 new people to introduce herself and speak about her niche. So, like what Sunita says, to speak with 5 unknown people. But she already had around, I think, 15 to 20 list of people who she already knew. So she had to contact them, but she had to contact the other 5 people also. So she was asking me, how do I go about this? So yes, her fears started cropping up, and she was afraid how she is going to contact them. But before that, as we all women, we all know that when a red signal is somewhere there, we be cautioned here. But before that, we have the green sector here. That is, she already has 15 to 20 people who she already knew. So let her first contact them, find the orders, speak to them, get her things, so that she will be busy with that thing stuff that works for the next maybe 2 to 3 months. When if she's exhausted with the list, or if the word of mouth doesn't work, then she can go for the next 5 people who she doesn't know personally. Are you understanding how the mind works? Once we think that we are going to speak with the 5 unknown people, we forget all our strategies, everything for the 50 known people. So once the fear sits in our head, our time goes in working on the fears, not on the strategies we have right now in our hands. So as women coaches and entrepreneurs, there is always, believe me, 1,000 strategies out there which we need to do our business right now. So we are always worried, should I understand the marketing, the branding part, the visualizing part? What should I work on? Instead of that, if we are clear that what one thing is going to work on my business right now, it could be the minutest part, the smallest part of creating value, the smallest, the very minute part of, creating your products. If you are having a physical product, anything, suppose you're going to sell a makeup or something, you can have your content ready. If you are like Sunita, then you can share 5 6 tips which works with your clients, instant solution clients, have it as slides. So if we are ready with these type of contents, then the other things will work on themselves. The point is, let us not work on the fears. Let us not think about what is the 9th step I'm going to do in my business. Just work on step number 1 and step number 2. So I'll be speaking about it more detailed way, so that it is more clear. So right now, Sunita, what do you think is your number one problem in your time management?
Time management is not the thing. Is I do get 2-3 hours, because at that point of time, your mind is totally blank. Then you start from scratch, and so that's it. I have decided. I've noted down hereafter. I'll take out some time 30 minutes because my ideas keep popping up when I'm in the kitchen most of the time, or when I'm outside when I'm driving or something. So that time you cannot keep on stopping the car or stopping the cooking and keep writing notes. So let's see how I manage that.
Hi,
That is my
Farida.
biggest challenge.
Yes, hi Farida, thanks for joining. So Sunita, you get hundreds of ideas to work on your business, right? So last time I think once we spoke in the mastermind call that note all your ideas and tell your ideas that you'll work later. But right now let us do a practical thing. Can you close your eyes, Sunita? Just close your
Done.
eyes. Keep your right hand on your heart. Okay. Be free, be comfortable. Okay. Just relax. Take a breath, one or two. Now tell me clearly, what is the big vision you see for your business after
Sorry.
5 years? After 5 years, where do you see yourself in your business?
I see so many things. I see people coming up to me. I have my own place where people would walk in and just ask me for suggestions and hire me. That's the biggest picture I've seen. And I
Yes,
have people working under me to get the appointments for them and get everything aligned for them. So I give my 110% to each of my clients who walk into me.
beautiful. That is such a beautiful vision. Please close your eyes till I ask you to open.
Okay.
Yes. So just feel comfortable. You just remember that you are working on yourself and you are helping so many other women who are watching right now and who are going to watch the replay later. Okay. So your vision is going to help so many people out there. But when you think about it, what is the number one thing which is cropping in your head which says that if I'm going to do this right now, this is going to bring me results? What is the first thing which is cropping in your head?
I can't do it right now because that's a lot of investment having my own place.
Yes,
So I'll have to go online, and how to tackle online is my biggest this thing, because for that I need to keep posting. I need to keep spending time regarding sharing my thoughts and views in webinars. So I have to work on those webinars.
great. So you feel that the number one thing you need to work on is your webinar.
Yeah.
Are you 100% sure, or you are just, again, your mind is cropping up with hundreds of reasons why a webinar is difficult?
Sorry.
Is your mind telling that you need to do your webinar, or is your mind giving you 10 reasons why a webinar is difficult?
Webinars is because I will have more people coming in. I can share more tips. And based on that, if at all anybody really find my tips really valuable, they will definitely come back to me as client.
Excellent. Excellent. So your heart says that webinar is the key and you need to do the webinar, right?
Exactly, yes.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Sunita. You can open your eyes.
Thank you, Kavita, for this exercise.
So you could see it very clearly that it is webinar. So all the
Yes.
100 thoughts, just whenever it crops in, you tell your thought that yes, these are all excellent, but let me decide how to make my webinar more great or more valuable or how to attract more people. That's it. It is like, when you are in a diet plan, whenever I do that, whenever my mind tells about junk food and other things, then I tell that no, focus on the healthy food. I bring my mind on the healthy food part. The same way, whenever your mind says something, because your heart told that it is the webinar is the key, so please work only on your webinars. Okay. And you will see that you can do great webinars with the same time. It is just the focus. That is where
Mm.
energy goes. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for being a sport there. Ume, or you wanted a guilt-free motherhood, right?
Yes.
Yes. And yes, I know that you have a small child. She's a 3-year-old child and such a cute daughter you have. So what is that which is making you feel guilt about motherhood, or do you feel you are not spending enough time with her?
I'm physically there all the time, but when I compare myself from 6 months back and when the lockdown started, it was all about her and the kind of activities I was doing. Lots of crafting, lots of reading, lots of play and all. So now everything has come down to like one thing only. My crafting has really stopped with her. And physically I'm there, then my mind is, I'm working on my things and all. So I feel guilty. She looks for an attention. I definitely make a boundary. Ki, okay, baby, this is your time. Now, mama time has started. It's work hour. But I definitely feel guilty. Some days in the evening, as I'm so tired, I've shouted on her. Like my voice has raises very occasionally, but I really feel guilty about that. And then she recently I've noticed she does the same thing with her dolls or with, okay baby, you are dirty, don't come near me. She just said this in the morning to her toy. I was in I was like my heart really sank when I heard that. Like she was mimicking what I was saying to her.
When she was mimicking, did it make you feel bad or good?
Bad, very bad. I felt very bad.
Why? Because the toy is dirty, so it was not. She was not accepting. What is that?
It was a simple, I think it was not a toy. She was just using the phrase with something in her hand. It was not her proper toy or her favorite toy. She just used out those phrases. How would I say it to her?
Yeah. So you felt bad for that. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, the same exercise. Put your heart, close your eyes, put your hand on your heart. Because I believe we all know our answers. We just need somebody to pull the answers out. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, ready? When your
Ready.
daughter told that sentence, your heart sank, right? And you felt
Right.
very bad that she was mimicking you.
Yes.
So what does your heart say? What do you think you need to do to remove that heart feeling from her heart?
I've, I've to practice more calmness, more gentleness.
Okay.
Calmness would be the key.
Yes. Do you think it is easy for somebody to be calm and steady for 24 hours in a day?
I don't know. Possibly.
You don't know, or you know that it is not possible?
It's possible. I believe there are women who have set examples, or maybe I don't know. I would say better. I don't know. It's possible or it's not possible.
Fine, we'll leave that part out of argument right now. So you believe there are some women who are very balanced. Point is, you are not
Yes.
balanced somewhere that is making you feel bad, right?
Right.
That is making you feel guilty.
Yes.
Okay. Now think Ume as the 5-year-old girl. Okay. You are the 5-year-old girl and you did something which you are not happy with. And the 30-year-old Ume is scolding the 5-year-old Ume for being angry with her daughter. What will you tell that 5-year-old Ume?
It's okay. Sometime happens. You can try better next time.
Okay. And that 30-year-old Ume also has a business to manage, and that 30-year-old Ume is also a mother. So what will that 5-year-old Ume tell the 30-year-old Ume then?
And just hug and a kiss. That is what 5 year would express in.
Just hug and kiss, right?
Yeah.
And do you think if you can't hug,
Assurance.
yes, yes. And believe me, I know children because I have worked with them as a coach also. I have trained hundreds of children literally in workshops. So I know that even your daughter, maybe she would have told that to the toy, but still if you go, she will just hug and kiss you. That is the truth. So the only thing I learned from guilt-free motherhood is if you feel bad, yes, feel bad, try not to repeat it. But children have such a big heart, more than their size and age, that they will be forgiving you. We will be bashing ourselves thousands of times that we will be spoiling their relationship with them. So we'll speak more on that because right now time is very less, but you just ask your heart. You know the answer. You know the answer and just think about it.
Sure.
Okay. So maybe we might have done a mistake for a minute and we feel guilty for it for 30 minutes. That is what we do. time management, we write to-do list, we have so many things. But the point is, I'm an extremely emotional person, is what I thought about myself. So if I'm in a bad day, bindas, I'm in a bad day, I throw everything out and I just sit. I feel that that is fine. But after 2 days, I feel bad that I had a bad day and I didn't do anything for 2 days. So I have wasted a lot of time. That is building up more energy sucking feelings for me. If you are a woman who thinks like me, then please allow me to tell you that if you have a bad day, fine. At the worst, you'll have a bad day for a day or two. But if you start worrying about your bad day, you are going to carry the baggage for the next week or so. So that is fine. You have your bad day. Accept you have a bad day. Fine. If you can, carry on with your things. If you can't, just switch off everything and binge watch movies. That's it. Whatever you feel it is comfortable. More than
I
bad
do.
days, we are going to work more on the emotional part. Yes, dear.
I do that binge watch.
Yes.
When nothing goes in my head, I binge watch.
Yes. And after that 3 days, we feel guilty for doing that binge watching.
Doing that, yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely right.
absolutely.
Yes. So the more time is, on the guilt part. So
Yeah.
ladies, let us all accept that we all do nonsense. So let's accept the nonsense part so that we save more time. Number one strategy I tell for time management is, if you do the wrong things, don't dwell on it for a long time. That is number one tip, because I have done so many mistakes in my life that I know that working on it more is going to waste more time. So start concentrating on the good thing. And yes, I need to tell you something. I was giving the health example. That is because of Manu Kapoor, because she not only helped me change my diet and weight, she helped me change my mindset. So it is all about mindset. Unless we realize that we really need to change in something with a strong motivation, nothing is going to change in us. So time management, I have read thousands of books, but what worked for me is having a guilt-free life. So if that, just try that out for a week. If you feel that's working for you, then please leave a comment here or join the mastermind group next week, again Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Girls, ladies, do you have any more questions? Please feel free to ask anybody in the comment box or in the live session. Sunita, Ume, do you have any questions?
No.
No, no.
Okay. Fine. Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining. Other ladies, please join at the right time so that, the room doesn't lock by itself at the right time. So thank you for coming here and thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Let's
Take
proceed.
care. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.